January 27th through January 31st, dates are up here. Butt end sales, way better feel than tape, way more durable. 25% off with the promo code TRAVSUCKS. All the details are going to be right over here. Link in the description if you'd like to pick one up. So I'm in Toronto right now, flying to London. Steve McKeegan, former Leafs goalie coach. It's going to be a fun week. Played in the National. He's coached in the National for multiple years. There's nothing else more to say than that. Steve is the man. When people like Steve have the knowledge that they do in regards to both goaltending, hockey, he's one of those people where anything he's saying, whether we're talking about pro hockey or painting the walls in his home, I shut up and I listen because I know there's a lot of information I can take value from. Some people may not like that. Some people may say, well, he only played one game in the National Hockey League. What the hell does he know? That one game, my friend, was more than you and I played put together, and a lot of other people put together. So when somebody's played one game in the National Hockey League, I have no choice but to respect that because it's more than I've accomplished. That's information that's going to help me moving forward and probably help you as well if you take what he says into consideration. So everybody watching this video to just shut up and listen to some of the things that he's saying because this is information that I would give a lot to have had that information when I was younger, being 23 now. If I had that at 16, maybe 17, I think we're talking a whole different ballgame where I'm not even making these videos and I'm playing somewhere of actual importance, not washed up club college hockey in Canada or where I played last year.
My name's Steve McKeegan, played in the NHL, coached in the NHL, scouted in the NHL, coaching goalies for 30 years, and I'm trying to make sure Trav stops sucking as bad as he does.
All the way over there. Today's theme for the Q&A is goalie coaching and related questions. How long have you been goalie coaching for?
Well, I started working at goalie schools when I was 17, hockey schools when I was 17, so I'm 52. You guys can do the math.
So get off your act, let's do some math.
What style of goaltending are you looking for in goaltenders specifically?
I'm looking for goalies that don't mimic other goalie styles and have sort of their own style. When I used to scout in the Western League, they all played the exact same style. The style out west back then would be sort of what GDI would have been teaching, glove up really high and just, you know, functionally the way they would move around the crease where they mimic each other. They'd all look mirror cookie cutter type goalies. So don't be a cookie cutter goalie, have your own style.
Single worst habit any goalie can have.
Copy in they see on Instagram or YouTube. Shooting water droplets up in the air like Holtby. Copy what they're doing without understanding why they're doing it and what's the theory behind it. Mimicking a stance or glove position just because an NHL goalie does it, that's the issue. You don't do anything without discernment and trying to think about why are they doing it and can it help me. He's probably got a mental tick that goes with that sort of triggers him into a concentration mode or gets him into a focus mode, getting ready in the pre-shot release. So I think likely he's doing it because that's his trigger.
You guys mind if I take a photo of you for this?
And he's not getting snapped along the ice. He's quick enough to have threat awareness to know to get his butterfly down and his stick there to coverage. I don't think any young goalie should be taught that or anybody should mimic it because it doesn't really functionally for the general public have any benefit, but he's doing it likely as a mental, bring things into focus, get ready, the shot's imminent type of thing.
What is one thing that Steve makes sure is as tight as possible regularly?
One thing I really want goalies to be tight on is just making sure nothing through your armpits and nothing through your 5-hole or under your pads.
Why do my goalie coaches always try to change my style of play? Every goalie coach I've had wants to change everything.
A sign of an insecure goalie coach and an amateur goalie coach, a hobbyist goalie coach, a guy that just watches shit on the internet, is when they try to brand their goalie with their way to do it. And that's exactly opposite of what an NHL goalie coach does. I could have kids from Sweden, Finland, England, wherever they're from, that playing in the NHL, maybe not England. They all come from different goalie coaches. And the sure sign that you've got a shit goalie coach is if he's trying to change your style.
And if you mind, define style, like changing your goalie style.
For instance, if your goalie coach is making you do a private lesson where you're RVHing for 50 minutes of it and he wants you to RVH overdose, that's a guy that's trying to change your style.
R. Walsh, what is the hardest part about being a goalie coach?
There's really nothing hard about it. I think that's why everybody wants to get into it. You make a lot of money and you don't really work much, and you get to play road hockey for the rest of your life. So
What are some tips to improve your glove hand?
firing pucks at it and playing a lot of baseball, a lot of lacrosse ball against the wall, and just work on cushioning it and accepting the puck and making sure it gets into your pocket, not the palm of your hand. But it's just repetitive.
Liam Rice, tips or drills to have more agility in the crease?
When you have a physical skill mastered around the crease, people work at it slow, methodically, and not top speed. And the problem is you get good at doing something half speed, not full speed. So to build agility and explosiveness around the crease, you got to deliver crease movement drills at full balls out.
How often should you turn your head when the puck is in the corner?
When the puck's in a non-dangerous spot in the corner on the half board, you should be checking out every couple seconds just to see where guys are and get a good mental image of where they are and where they're going to project to be in a couple seconds. So when the pass does happen, you don't get caught by surprise when it does actually get to them.
What is the most common situation that you've seen when the RVH is used incorrect?
Anytime it's outside of stick length, like on a power wrap, a guy aggressively wrapping the puck, that's a perfect time for the RVH. When a guy's got the puck off to the side of the net, guys are covered in front, and time and space are an issue, it's a perfect time for an RVH. But when a guy's got time and space and he's gapped out away from you more than a stick length, even if it's a shit angle, you should not be in the RVH. You shouldn't be in the RVH when the puck's over in the corner in a scrum. You shouldn't be in the RVH when the puck's on the end boards behind the net. You should only be down in the RVH when a threat is imminent and it's going to happen and he's got time and space issues.
Kyle would like to know, why are NHL goalies double shuffling deeper in the crease compared to a T-push on penalty kills?
It's likely related to conserving energy in a PK. You don't need to be doing explosive movements where you're super shot ready. Every goalie is going to be different. Some goalies, right post, left post, like VH on one, RVH on the other, or even traditional overlap. I like the overlap for the most part.
You want to touch on the Hellebuck stick position. What is the one single hardest thing that you have found that's been hard to get across to goalies and to teach them?
How hard people actually work that make the NHL. I worked my ass off after my college career before my first NHL camp. I literally kicked the living shit out of myself every day all summer, followed the Canucks program to a T. Max VO2 on the Wingate, I got off at a certain time, just dead, passed out, puking on the ground. And Trevor Linden got on after me. At the time that I fell off the bike, he was just still ass on the seat, just pumping away like he was going for a drive down the beach in Kitsilano. No matter what the heck I thought I was doing, there's people out there kicking their ass way harder than you are right now. And that's a takeaway for anybody that's watching this. If you think you're working hard right now, you're not. An NHL guy is spending 5-6 hours a day on his training, not just going to the gym for an hour and throwing some weights and doing some squats or some stretching. And this is goalies I'm talking about, not just position players. A professional spends 5 or 6 hours every day in the off-season training.
Do you actually improve goalies that play at the highest level?
NHL goalie coach will have some incremental improvements with their goalies at that level, but at the end of the day, you're just trying to get them to be the best. Belfour, for instance, there's no way I'm going to improve him. I'm just going to try to maintain the stuff he had and get him playing his best. So at the NHL level, it's less about improvement. It's more about improving and adapting to what they're doing so they can have a long career. Your minor league guys, you are trying to build improvement and consistency and control elements with them. But once the guy's in the NHL, you're basically just trying to create longevity, consistency, and just the ability to maintain what they have.
So general maintenance more so.
Right.
What's one thing you hate goalies doing?
I don't like seeing goalies that try to make it about themselves on the ice. So guys that overhandle the puck, guys that try to hit the empty net with a 1-goal lead, guys that try to show up people by getting all tough in scrums.
The whistle had gone, whoop, and Clifford goes shoulder to chest right into Binnington. Binnington just kind of...
And so I've always said on that topic, if you're that tough as a goalie, take your helmet off, drop your gloves, and then go start acting tough. Do it with your helmet on, your blocker, trapper, and your stick is not somebody being tough, that's somebody being a punk. So if you're tough, take your stuff off and go challenge somebody.
Player looking for tips, and Garrick Denchuk, do goalies look at the eyes or the stick movements of my body as a player?
They'll look off the puck in non-dangerous times, but when you're carrying the puck and you're in a threatening area, the only thing they're looking at is your stick and your puck. To get a goalie to bite their knees or to bite onto a good fake, the shoulders, wrists, and all that other stuff is very loosely going to cause them to bite. What will cause them to bite is when they see that stick moving away that looks like the puck's coming, and then they do something. So most pro shooters, if they're going to try to generate a knee drive out of a goalie, will give you a good open stick fake, and then they'll pull it and shelf it. And they won't just pull it and shelf it. They'll get the goalie to bite on something, and then they pull it. So if he's a shooter, my advice to him to be, make sure you understand they look at the stick-puck relationship, and you got to sell them on that being a shot before you do a deke.
That will conclude our Q&A. Good job. All right, Sideline Swap. I'm running out of ads. I'm running out of ideas for these sales pitches. I mean, you do 5 videos a week, 3 videos a week for 3 years. You're gonna run out of ideas really quick when you gotta do an ad at the end of every video. But what I can tell you is that you will not be disappointed if you go to shop@sidelineswap.com. Sideline Swap, best way to describe it is Facebook Marketplace meets eBay meets Kijiji 10 times better. It is people selling equipment by people, for people. Actual people are behind the program itself, not just a computer like eBay where they're hosing you for like 25% of your total earnings when you're selling stuff. And I'll see you in the next video.